name is Benjamin Tuttle. I'm going to keep this kind of short here, but I'm going to introduce a very powerful little tool. It'll hopefully come with use. So we're going to import a box that is 100 by 100 by 100. So this is a 100 centimeter cube. So I'm going to make a 100 centimeter cube. Now the most important thing is I'm going to explain in detail why here. Why this is kind of cool. What you should look into. So right now this is Blender 2.8 or 2.79. Sorry, 2.8 doesn't come out till later on. And I have iClone 6. So I'm gonna close. Now, keep in mind the grid. This grid and the Blender grid. Think of it in metric. So this is basically 100 centimeters, 1,000 millimeters, or 1 meter. We go here. There we go. So let's build the scene. Suppose, so we'll drag a character in. We'll throw in Jade. Since this is in meters, everything is the 1-to-1. Now you're wondering, well, what the heck? What are you going on about? So we'll throw in a motion. I'll do a set. Well, let's go with standard motion. So, the most important thing is this. And I'm going to set a camera. Camera rotation will be at 90 degrees. And 0. And 0. And you're going to move your camera to a certain point. Adjust it to make sure it is 30 frames per second. And set your camera angle. Usually set to 1920 by 800. The most important thing to consider, also you want to raise your angle too. So let's throw in the character. Just anybody who can be in Alembic mode. And we'll adjust it by -100. Very good. And I'll just use something from mocap online. Oops, let's remove object animation. So we have a character who is at negative 100, 0, negative 100 centimeters. So we'll make someone that is, or we'll just export the Alembic mode. If you don't have Alembic or you're unable to do so, just use like a dummy. So I'll do current range. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to import it. Import the Alembic to our character. What? Oh, okay. That's okay. There we go. Yeah. Ah, okay. Sweet. NPC. Character. That character to a specification. It's very important to know where your character settings are at. So if we just here and move up. You can even move a little bit here. Here. There you go. Great thing is now you can actually rebuild your set. Just your camera too. If you want to do it in gonna move the camera. See what that looks like. And cycles. Interesting. Some of you are thinking, what the heck? This is very useful for a couple of reasons. One of the big things is by importing the camera and having your character here is you can do particle effects. So let's do a simple little particle effect. Oops. Put that in here. We go to particles. Object. Sphere. So. Oh, hello. So, hi there. So the coolest thing here, I'm going to show you. So extend the lifetime to 5,000. Increase the number by 25,000. And then what I'm going to do is increase text. No, not anymore text, but wind. Increase the wind by here and here. So how long is the scene? Get 4,000. Move the camera just a little bit over. And in fact, let's just increase the particle to 85,000. Thing done. 15. Done. Now the big thing is just gonna right. Add a little bit of turbulence. Stop. And I'm going to export this as an FBX. Let's see why. And I'm going to call it, under character, just call it camera. So we'll put in so I'll do this in the Blender render. Character, new folder. Perfect. Well, that's done. Just delete her. There is nothing left of her. What you do is you go to here. Probably easier. Cycles. Use an node or go with the emission. Alright. Perfect. Going to GPU. Go to transparent. Now I'm going to render the animation. In the meantime, going to file, import, camera. Oops. Sometimes I have a character, but it's the wrong place at the wrong time. In fact, could we fix the camera? Again. 200. So yeah, it's gonna take some bit of work, but 10. 100. There we go. Not spotlight here. How's the rendering? What you do? And ambient. Render. Do a sequence. Keep it at high. Ah, thank you. See how quick the rendering is. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Here comes the character. Now that is done. Figure out how to improve the light. It just feels a little low res. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Well. What the heck? How about... Okay, so that being done, just quickly cancel, and I'll show you what you mean, what I was going through here, and why this is kind of important. I know I haven't been speaking much or anything like that. I've been just kind of focused. But this is kind of big. I'll tell you why. Because allowing you to import here, you can blend the two of these together. You can use particle effects, you can use the camera work. By importing the camera, Blender has a very smooth transition curve. So when I press, I'll show you. iClone, when their old camera work, used to be pretty rigid. People would often, they don't have smooth transitions, so we'll just move here and just watch how this thing moves here, back and forth. It starts off and then slowly, gradually comes to a stop. And the best part is this. This camera has a curve editor, and Blender has had it a long time. Oh yeah. It's, yeah, my computer is going to be so full of these things. So, here is the curve editor, the graph editor of this thing. Now, for some of you who are like, okay, so what's the big deal? iClone has a upcoming feature that is, I don't know how much it's going to cost. I remember seeing it for $149. For those who can't afford it but have iClone 7, you can have the ability to work with the camera using Blender. So if you want to change the camera, so we can just rotate it to our heart's content. So you can have it completely go to a stop and watch. Here. Over here to here. You can have this thing run to the races or just slowly, gradually build up. As long as it doesn't go over a certain line. Because if he does... Right, so we'll look at this thing here. By doing this, and let's just move the camera over. By doing this allows a much more gradual let's have a look here. Having a gradual, so let me just move over. Right here. This allows smoother movement of the camera. By tweaking these, adding work with the keyframes allows for a smoother camera angle. When it comes to transitions, the biggest sin I've always seen with iClone Productions is when people move the camera. It is incredibly jerky, and especially with transitions. So I'll give you an example here, and I think it should be good to go. Okay. So let's put a camera in. Let's move it 3 meters so we can see it. Rotate 0, 0, x 90. Okay. So supposedly, I want to move the camera 5 meters. So, here it comes. And that's it. It's pretty quick. In fact, you can actually change it. Let's delete these. Delete the keyframes. Delete this keyframe. And this one. So, let's jump to 120 degrees and go 3 meters. And for here, I go to 0. You don't want it to completely jerk around, you just want to stop on a moment's basis before moving on. So we'll move it here. And sometimes, and if I don't like that move there, I simply take this and rotate. So let's see what happens. It's kind of extreme. Let's see how that reacts. And there we are. Yep, you can, and you could do that with Blender too, with Path. So you can just take it here. I'll show you. So we'll put a path animation here. Here, 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 here. The great thing is, it allows for more control. Supposedly. Oh yeah, but you can actually apply other factors too. Like you can have a character look directly up and down. So I'm going to attach a camera here. You can, but Blender offers a very smooth, it's actually much smoother. It's much smoother than iClone. Follow the curve. So, there it is. You can easily import it, but I'll be honest. I still gotta figure this one out, but I used to do it with the roller coaster. You can easily fix and work with the F-curve. Let's put our character in. Finally put our snowfall in. Odd. Very odd. you can actually mask it all you want as well. The beautiful thing is, I'm going to apply effect too. Effects controls. So if some of you are wondering what I'm doing, oops. Not only that, but Grandpa has a really cool effect on depth of field. Here. Concentration. But the beauty thing is by also importing, oopsies, when you use these two, you can actually, it makes compositing and special effects work very well, and it's easier to do. By importing the camera, you don't have to match it eye for eye in Blender and iClone together. If you have an idea, like if you have an idea and know where your grid is, you can actually apply special, like an effects in Blender, import the camera, and make sure the characters are running. And also you can do it in iClone, and if you have Alembic mode, or you can just throw a dummy in and just kind of watch their movements and just kind of keyframe it just one little at a time. You can and put the camera in. You could film it a smoother transition, and then basically use a Blender, fix, like do all the compositing stuff, and then remove the character and everything, film in iClone, film in Blender, do stuff like cycles rendering, so you could do rain, snow, buildings exploding, certain special effects that you could put in a compositor like Adobe Premiere or HitFilm. For doing this, it'll almost pretty much, it's incredibly flexible, and it's pretty dang cool. You can actually make really good long takes out of these things, so it goes pretty dang well. Like if you wanted a character run out of a collapsing building, you can very well do that. So let's put in something like this. Or, the character ascending a certain sky, like ascending something, and then you want to place a background for transparency and have them climb up something and put Blender in. Allowing this, the camera and everything, it allows for a symbiotic kind of way of making productions, and that is pretty damn cool. It's quite amazing. What I've shown here is like a very, very basic, run-of-the-mill thing. And knowing these, you must know the metrics of 1 by 1. You can build your set in Blender, have like certain effects. So let's say we have self-fracture here. We'll do like a self-fracture. We'll make it pretty dang random. Self-fracture and random. here, and then we'll do a basic little thing here. So, well, this is active. This would be passive. And then I'm going to make a much bigger form here. I'll call this one active. And its mass will be much, much larger. So put in a mass of like 500. 01. And then it's up to here. Make it larger. So we'll see what happens. So right here, perhaps not as big. So what that means is when you have like an explosive or some kind of debris like this, you can have a character run past it and affect it. And that's what makes it special. Yep. Because each, yep, exactly, because each one little thing is 1 meter. So if you have like something, you know, for action movies or something, this would be pretty impressive. For something like, you know, rain or snow, you can actually take this in account. If you want to transition, this would definitely work. So it's kind of, I know this might be, this isn't really one of my greatest videos, whatever to say, but this is kind of a big deal. And by allowing this, you can actually blend iClone and Blender, forget the pun, together. So it's kind of a short video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.